Hello, welcome back to Satisfactory. I am Maker Gaming. This is our Let's Play, shorter edition, and I am excited for today. We got a few housekeeping things to do. So, what do we got to do? Let's go talk in our starter avatar build. Anyways, why are we here? Blueprints. We have one to add. From scratch, my buddy, fellow YouTube creator. I used a lot of his blueprint in my last blueprint episode when I built that hexagon ceiling. His little control center very much rounded out the look. Also, quote board. I haven't been keeping up with this very much, but we got a great one from my Sandworms short. Intent. Thanks to whoever wrote that. That's looking pretty good. Never trust a secret hole, guys. Alright, that's it for housekeeping. Now let's just do a little review over the last episode. Because, you know, the original point of this channel, well, of this world, not the main point, but I wanted to have a bus following all my dismantle crates from far northeast of the map to the far southwest of the map, and the bus really only ever made it from the Dune Desert to here. So I really just wanted to note that my last episode, we really extended our goals, right? Because it used to go to here with our original design, and we had that for a while. Then we built the electronics factory forever, which it turned out awesome, so that's fine. But in my last episode, recorded over a month ago, we built that tower shape, we built that blueprint, and we ran it all the way across this little Titan Forest edge, up the bamboo forest cliff with a bigger version, ran it all the way through the bamboo forest. I don't know, why do I have this thing on still? Also, shout out to Gusroy? I can never remember. Hose guy. He edited my little video that we did on Reddit, my Doug post, and it's pretty cool to see this game with full graphics, because my rig is not enough to get everything out at Ultra. So it was cool to see all this. Anyways, I built this storage unit for my electronics factory. And the point of this and the bus was to go back, get back into the swing of geometric builds. So I went with the easiest one there is, a octagon. And I liked how one of the corners was kind of pointing over the river, so I made a second one, so I could have a bridge. Always fun to make a bridge. Then I was thinking, this thing is a pretty cool lookout to the grass fields in this part of the world. So I was thinking, hell, let's just see how many branches we can get off this octagon, right? So we took one out that way, one past this first building, one off at that edge of that building. I'm basically just looking for spaces where we could put another little tower. So yeah, we kind of have this place all marked out, what I did at the end of the last episode, and then a big tower here that can go all the way down and be our entrance into the green fields part of our playthrough. This shape's okay. Still workshopping it. I did this shape and all this stuff just on a whim one night, and I think it's really going to set off a lot of projects. But that's for another time. That's it for housekeeping. Let's get back to the Dune Desert and get to the episode. Thanks for watching. Okay, full disclosure. I've had this running joke going for months and months. Totally to myself, no one else knows, but I've just found it laughable that I have not had a single train in this playthrough. I haven't even unlocked trains. Um, and honestly, I had no plan to unlock trains for the entire game. But Reddit and Doug have changed my mind. Today is the day we unlock trains. We need to note this location in case anybody wants to copy any of this process. So, coordinates 2316, negative 3070, seen in this part of the very top of the map. This waterfall, if you drop down right here, this rock, drop down, we have an entrance to the void. I guess it's the underworld. And yeah, for anyone that's seen my short, anyone that's seen the Doug post on Reddit, we are going to unlock trains down here. Actually, I should have went and did it at the hub. Let's do that, and then we'll come back. Sorry, this has been a giant intro, but I probably won't cut it. This might be a long episode. I have not been mic'd up this entire week. So this is new to me. Oh great. I have been in here, but I have not had my headset on. So I did not hear the song. I mean, we're mostly through 7. Starting on 8. We just never unlocked it. Funny to me. I'm easily amused. Officially unlocking trains. I'm still not promising that we don't ever use a train to be useful.
Trains are excellent for efficiently moving vast quantities of parts.
Alright. I think at the beginning of the episode I probably showed the entrance to the underworld, but also we're going to be over here a lot because we're going to need a lot of concrete, I believe. What, a lot of concrete, a lot of steel, and other things. So let's make the printer over here, and let's work on something people talked about in my short that talked about going into the void. People talked about a bunch of other ways to get down there. I think the smartest one was a hypertube system. I think this is basically it. We are building a floor. We are building a tower. That should do it. I guess we give it a power source. Void entrance. H, page down. Alright, moment of truth. It worked. Thank God for jetpacks. Alright. That was proof of concept. I'm going to build out a little bit. Just make a few paths. Pretty cool how the rock formations are floating too. Not disappeared like the sands. Alright, we don't want to go through the water. Alright, I think I've done 2 noteworthy things, so let's talk on those. 1, I made some basic paths I think would be good for the sandworms. And I traced them out on beams up here, because I figure when we're down below, you can't see the sand dunes for the most part, except for random features. So these lines will give us kind of heights that we need to achieve. Because we got to figure out exactly what height we need to go below the terrain so that the train looks like it's in the sand, like the bottom third of it, or as close as we can manage. Secondly, is below. We've also just kind of made some tracks. This was before the above stuff, but yeah, that looks like it's going to work. So those will be easier to trace. than the invisible dunes. That was the second version of it. The first version was with foundations, which is what that is over there. So yeah, I'm going to trace out more of these roads. Probably trace out more paths up there. And I'll come back to record once I have some trains to actually make. Real quick, I just want to jump over to this kind of tower I'm building that's going to connect these cliff towers to the green fields. I'm just taking this squared out shape that I made coming off this bridge and I'm just dragging everything down. And here I'm just showing, I wanted to have some basis of a center point at the bottom while still getting rid of this middle post. So I ended up building out one of these floors to the edges. Then when I saw how this looked on the outside, I realized multiple main floors would lend well to giving some body to these 4 outer ribs. So I did a mass delete to see there's 47 foundations between these 2 floors. Take away 3 foundations for the floors, that's 15 foundations between each floor, and so we redo the bottom floor wherever it lands, and we make the even spacing so it looks better on the outside. Never mind, this was perfect. I wasn't counting the bottom floor. Alright, that's it for the tower. We'll talk a little bit more about the bridge now. We're still working on the train lines going down into the void, but then there were also things that came up. Mostly the tips video I'm doing right now about entering the void. That's what this is. To make this, I needed a blueprint designer. And because I've been over here a lot, I decided to make it over here, which is kind of dumb because the materials are not over here yet. But anyways, I wanted this area to be well populated. So we threw that in, threw some decorations, made it a build, made it a building. Also, a couple of my materials, electronics, are already completely filled of this storage container. So I just added these because I didn't like how much was going to waste. So the awesome sink's not till over here. I'm sure I will never access those at all. Finally, on this side, I'm trying to make a kind of a suspension bridge. I don't know how much of this I'd shown either, but I'm liking it. We had 2 different angles going. I think I like the other one more, so that's the one I think I'm going to go with. That jump saved me from that new cog. So yeah, we have this happening now. These support this, and then this supports this. I started with this idea, but decided it looked weak from far, so we went with this. I'm still not exactly sure if this is what I'll do, but for now it is. In hindsight, I should have made it larger than a 1 foundation bridge, but that's over now. So I was thinking, how can we get materials down to the grass fields? And we're just going to do kind of a simple, we'll do a waterfall out of here from the electronics belt and whatever else belts we bring over here. They'll come down here and we'll have some sort of thing going here. I figured with this setup I could fit 5. We'll see how that looks with the belts. We might have to go a little bit higher. We'll figure something out. We could always make this 2 or 1 meters and then drop this. That way we can fit more. We'll put some sort of walls up here. And we will duplicate that left side over here on the right side. I guess I could show how we're doing this, if anyone's interested. A deletion tip. You can press G while highlighting a certain thing. So dismantle filter now says braided cable. So now I hold control and nothing gets selected except my braided cables. Very helpful. Alright. This doesn't want to snap because it's a ramp. You can press H and then it forgets it doesn't like it. R for freeform mode. We're going the halfway mark of each foundation ramp to the halfway mark, like so. And originally I was doing it like this every other. H, stay in freeform, go to the middle. But now that I know the pattern and that we're doubling it up, I can do them all together. And let's do some of the trickier ones. H. Now this isn't long enough, but I've talked about this little tip many times before. As long as you're looking at exactly the point you want, and you can tell because once you click, you'll see where your next shape would go. Right there, that's exactly where we want it. The middle of that top one. And now that angle is exactly to that space. So we just do it. This is the only one I think you have to do 3 times. And you want to use that check, just, we see it's there, we know that's where it's going. Because every once in a while it'll like go there and you'll see the angles change. You notice it from far, you just come back and fix it. Yep, and that's it. Let me finish these up. That looks pretty good. If not realistically supported, it definitely looks more supported than it did when it was just the 3 rows of foundations. Alright, that's our bridge check-in. I'll probably come back when I'm back under the Dune Desert. Alright, this will all be out in my tips video, but if I haven't shown it, these are our 2 entrances. Got the hypertube. And we got the train. I think you need to find a better incline for this, but this works. You're down. I added a foundation. So yeah, now we're caught up. Now we are going to work on... Oh, I put an Explorer up there and a second truck just so that we get more movement up there. It's fun to see. Alright, main purpose of the episode is the Sandworms. I was kind of doing this to kind of see what height we're looking at because we're going to be placing everything by rail. But what we want is for this to be poking out of the ground. So this was just to see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 meters, maybe 5. But yeah, we're kind of looking at the 2 to 4 meter mark. Actually, I would even say the 3 to 5 meter mark for where we want to put these trains in relation to the sand. Also, I've been running these beams. I probably mentioned it before. I've been running those beams so that we could kind of do just that. So yeah, let's just try and do one. The second one I painted red. And I very specifically did that one's truck route to match some of these areas where I have these lines. So we definitely want to put sand dunes. We definitely want to put sandworms in these locations, because we definitely want them colliding with the trucks. Those trucks only feed our space elevator parts, which is there, and not something we're constantly worried about, so it's funny to me that we'll have tractors and sandworms derailing each other. Holding control to rotate a little more refined. That looks good. You know what, can we just see how well we can use nudge? H, I don't have a lot of practice with railways. Building cannot be nudged. Okay, never mind. But what we can nudge, what do we say, 3 to 5 meters, right? So 1, 2, 3. We put the rail there, that would put us there. Let's go 4. 4 to start. Actually, I think I could go a little bit lower. You know what, let's just keep that. Nah, let's go up 1. So we keep going straight. Then we go up some. I'm thinking we'll exit after the hill. Oh yeah, Explorer, I'm gonna screw you over. Yep, so it bends down there, I think. So we're gonna disappear back down into the void. That direction. Alright, I think we've laid our track. Let's do this. Now we start. Introduce a little curve to it. That's way too low. Can we can't nudge? Nope. Alright, so we go. What? How did that even happen? Either way, we're getting there. What? What? Honestly, that's all we really need. I think we're going to need a loop and other things, but let's at least see. I don't know if we'll be able to see it running or not. We don't have a place to end it. It's kind of weird getting caught up in invisible terrain. Hey, set up a train schedule. Thanks, Sandworm experiment. Station unreachable. Heck you say. This is super disappointing. Oh, that's way too high. Okay, at least we're getting a look at it. Ah, I forgot a bumper. That's kind of sick. What do you mean, no power? Alright. Train. Alright, at least we got to see just how finicky it is. A lot of that, we don't want the wheels showing up. We also have to figure out how the trains are going to go. Let me troubleshoot that offline and I will be back. Hey, there's a train station. Also, I'll clean up a lot of this mess from my tips video. None of it's necessary except for that one. We did it. I don't know that wasn't going to do too many more right now. We could just end the episode here. That'd be the smart thing. This is awesome. Exactly what I wanted. Should have gave him a couple extra cars though. Oh wow, he goes down quick. We'll definitely need this path. Dope. It worked. Thanks for watching. I'm both liking this and am annoyed with it. I did a second line. Should probably wait for the daytime, but the lights help. I don't think I'm going to put out any more here. There is a chance, though, that rather than have a train network in the end game, we have a sandworm network. But I did want to do... I should wait for the daytime. I don't think I can wait. We're getting close. Don't have a train there. So, I'm not loving how it looks down here. I'm thinking it probably looks better without all these tracks. All these foundations for the tracks. But the method kind of worked. I had those white beams denoting the hills and things, and we just kind of went along those with the foundations, laid the track. There were a couple spots that were sticking out of the sand, so it was just repairing those areas to be a little lower. That's what was going on here. This curve just kept showing up above no matter what, so I had to do some crazy tracking. So, second worm. Gotta do that. Anyway. I think I'm done with 2. Actually, I want to try one more method. That's what I'm going to do. But first I want to clean up some of this, see if it helps the look down here. Died 3 times while building this with a jetpack over the void. But my hub is right up there, so it wasn't a big deal. That definitely looks better. Alright, let's go try the last method. I think we'll do a loop this time. Alright, so one more method. I want to do it without all of those. Trying to simplify the method. Take out a step. That's the plan. This was our original plan before the beams. Alright, so what I was thinking is we just put blocks exactly where we want each spot of the train to go. Maybe we just go down 3? That was 4. Actually, I'm too excited to do a loop. I want to see if it worked. Alright, I'll time lapse if this is better. We're adding a little bit of curvature to make it more wormy. It's like I made a platformer. Is that going to go above? That is way too high up. Man, this is all going pretty perfect. Sometimes it does that, launches you up out. No big deal. This way is way more fun, for the record. I was getting dejected, but this is just making the idea much more easy to think of. This one's probably going to cut through. Nice. That was lucky. Can I land on that? What? It's my train. Oh, that's where I started. Definitely building on the rock. Build 5 kilometers. There we go, nailed it. Alright, we need power. Put it by the slug. There's our power. The best. And a timetable. My method was so much faster. Now I think we're pretty much done. Whoops. We miss him already? He's fast. Gotta get rid of the empty cars. Whoops. Need to go lower there. Alright. Thanks for watching. Really need to finish that. That was fun-ish.